exercise I do to reverse my aging is lifting weights. For most of my life, I was a cardio-only person. I took my first aerobic class when I was 16. In my generation, lifting weights was never really a thing for women. It was a lot more like Jane Fonda all the time. So I thought if I lifted weights, I would look like this. I used to believe the more cardio I did, the better I would look. But now I know cardio doesn't shape your body the way lifting weights does. Cardio is good for other reasons, which we'll get into, but muscle is what gives your body a great shape. I wish I knew this earlier because I spent so much time killing myself at the gym, doing intense cardio for hours, and I never looked toned like I wanted to. Now I lift weights 4 times a week. It got me such a great figure, but it's not just how I look, it's much more than that. Now that I'm in my 50s, my friends and I are worried about becoming frail or falling and breaking something, ending up in the hospital. Frailty is medically defined as having 3 out of these 5 things: exhaustion or low energy, slowness in walking, low physical activity, weak grip strength, and unattended weight loss. Does any of this sound familiar? It did to me. A year ago, I was definitely on the trail to frail. So lifting weights not only gives you great shape, but it also prevents frailty and osteoporosis. Everywhere I look, I see vitamin advice for osteoporosis, like take more calcium, eat more omega-3s, etc. But the absolute number one thing you can do, what you need to do to prevent and reverse osteoporosis, is simply weightlifting. No drug, vitamin, or supplement is gonna do the trick. You have to lift weights for your bones. I suggest you get into it because it's good for you and it doesn't take long before you love it. But you might be wondering, what about running for bone density? Yeah, I used to think running had enough impact to build strong bones, but it's just not as good as lifting weights. In addition to running, other exercises like cycling, yoga, swimming are not considered osteogenic, which means bone producing. In one study, competitive female cyclists actually lost bone density over a 12-month period. So like I said earlier, my weekly workouts fall into 3 buckets: lifting weights, zone 2 cardio, and VO2 max training. So that's why I don't do yoga or Pilates. Of course, if you love yoga and Pilates, go for it. But my expert advice is not until you've done the core 3 exercises for longevity first. My last DEXA scan showed that my bone mineral density is above average for women my age, and it's even normal compared to a healthy 30-year-old. It didn't used to be, and that was super scary. Let's talk about falling. Women have more hip fractures than men because they fall more often. Are we just tippy canoe? No, it's because women have weaker bones and less muscle. Why? Because we don't lift weights. And over time, we get weaker bones and weaker muscles. The best exercises to prevent falls are a combination of strength training and balance or functional exercises. Sit to stand, standing on one foot, walking heel to toe in straight line. But start with strength training and the rest will come. It's true. This is how it happened for me. Besides bone density and fall prevention, there's also cognitive benefits to lifting weights. One study of over 400,000 patients found that grip strength was highly associated with dementia risk. People with the weakest grip were 72% more likely to get dementia compared to people with the strongest grip. It's clear from the science, the higher your grip strength, the lower your risk of dementia. Grip strength is a marker of total body strength, and it's a byproduct of lifting weights. Lifting weights also boosts FGF21, which is a hormone involved in regulating metabolism, blood sugar, and body fat. Boosting FGF21 improves your metabolic health, helping you with weight loss and reducing the risk of metabolic disease like diabetes. So now you know that resistance training is the most effective way to prevent age-related muscle weakness and muscle loss, preserve physical function, improve your bone density, and boost your metabolism because muscles burn a lot of calories. I've noticed I can eat more food and not gain weight because I gained over 8 pounds of muscle by lifting weights. By the way, my friends told me it was impossible and that women over 50 can't build muscle and lose weight at the same time. Feels good to prove them wrong. Muscle is also a powerful biomarker for longevity. One study observed 4,500 people 50 years or older for over 10 years, found those with low muscle mass had up to 50% higher risk of death. Still think you're too old to gain muscle? One study had men and women over the age of 70 lift weights 3 times a week for 6 months. Their leg muscles increased 10% and upper and lower body strength increased by 40%. Another study had frail men and women in their 70s and 80s work out an hour a day, 5 days a week. The exercises included strength training, and amazingly, 31% of the participants reversed their frailty status in 6 months. So to get started, a full body workout twice a week is perfect. Then you can progress to full body 3 times a week and eventually 4 times a week with an upper body split. So for me, I train lower body twice a week and my upper body twice a week. It ends up being 45 minutes, 4 times a week. I absolutely love it. I lift a little heavier every time. It's a huge confidence boost and it's really fun. So hurry up, hire a trainer, buy some weights, get a spot in your house, join a gym, get a buddy, figure it out, and make it happen for yourself. So lifting weights is the #1 most important exercise for longevity, but there's another exercise that also ties for the #1 spot.